Money plays such an important part of our lives. Now, whether you think you don't want to worry about money or not, it does revolve around everything that we do. Now, the good thing is that we don't have to be a slave to money. We don't have to listen to what our money is telling us what to do. We can be the boss and tell our money where to go and help grow it and help make it where we can live our best lives. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about something called YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget, and it is a budgeting software, but it's more than just a budgeting software. It is a way of life, and it is a system that's been crafted and honed over many years by the founder and creator, Jesse Meacham, and his team. And I'm here today, and this is not sponsored or anything by them. I've been using YNAB for years, and I think you would benefit greatly from this program. We're going to talk about the 4 different rules that they've laid out to kind of operate in the YNAB system. I'm going to take you into the software a little bit as well to kind of show you what it looks like, and then also at the end I'm going to kind of tell you how to get started today. So definitely don't hesitate. If it's your first time with us, my name's Nate. Glad to have you here. Make sure you smash that like button if you are ready to learn about the YNAB software. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to talk about rule 1 first, and that's give every dollar a job. Now, what that means is at no time in any of your bank accounts, whether that's your savings account, your checking account, should you not have $1, 1 penny that you don't know what it's going to be used for. Now, the great thing about that is it kind of leaves it wide open. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, hey, this has to go to this exact thing. It's up to you. I mean, it is your budget. And so sometimes those dollars are going to go to something fun. They're going to go to saving for a trip, or they can go to pay off debt, or they can just go for, your immediate obligations that you kind of have going on, throughout your life. But the whole point is that no matter what dollar amount is inside your bank account, whether it's $10,000 or it's $1, you got to give it a job. And that's another different thing about YNAB. Unlike most budgeting softwares that want you to do something called forecasting, where you kind of know that, I'm going to get paid this amount of money each month and I'm going to kind of plan out. While that can be helpful to think that way, and that's what we'll talk about with the goal setting you can do in YNAB, the problem is it doesn't help you start today. And on this channel, we're all about starting today. And so if you get into YNAB today, what they're going to have you do is start today. So it doesn't matter if you got paid 2 weeks ago or you got paid today. Whatever amount of money that is in your bank account, once again, whether it's even just $1 or $5, you're going to give that a job. The number 2, it's embrace your true expenses. Now, what this can do is this can help you when you are establishing all your true expenses and you're actually tracking your spending, which is like one of the number 1 things you'll hear from millionaires is you got to track your expenses and know where your money's going, kind of like rule 1. Knowing your true expenses is knowing what's coming up. So if you know, hey, guess what? Here's a little secret. Christmas happens every single year on December 25th. I bet it's going to happen here again this year in 2021. But guess what? We're sitting here in January at the time of this recording, and so I can know that, hey, I need this amount of money by December. And so I can truly not be surprised 12 months from now, hey, I've been saving every paycheck or every other paycheck, and I have a certain amount, and I keep saving, and guess what? You look up in July, all of a sudden, you have half of it there, right? And you keep going. And that's also the same thing with, hey, I pay my car insurance. Maybe you pay annually, or maybe you try to pay it semi-annually, right? Because you saved a little money, but maybe you can't do that, or you get super surprised because, hey, there's that $700, $800, $900 that just pops all of a sudden because you weren't ready for it, and then you stumble onto something else, and you're not able to take care of something else. And then now you decide, well, I'll just do month to month because at least that way I know it's coming. Well, hey, guess what? With YNAB, you can go in there and you can say how long it's going to be, and you kind of know that I need to save this amount each month. So when you get that little budget and you go down, you say, hey, okay, I'm supposed to put $50 in there. Boom, good to go. Rolling with the punches. This is probably the number 1 thing that I think is so hard, and why so many people break their budgets and then just leave them at the wayside. And that is they put so much stock in making sure that, they don't break it, and that if they do, it's the end of the world. Well, guess what? The people at YNAB, the team there, they understand that. That's why they preach this rule, as one of their top 4 rules here, and that is stuff's going to happen. You're not going to remember to budget for everything. In fact, that's why usually they recommend you put something that's called a something I forgot to budget for category. So hopefully, if you forget to budget for something, you can actually go back in and actually use that as a buffer. But guess what? Even with that, there's going to be times that, you think of this amount you put in for grocery. Well, maybe you're going to go over that. You never know. But the whole point is that it's not the end of the world. And the good thing is as you continue to use the YNAB system, usually it doesn't even matter because you have plenty of slush money that's just kind of sitting there that you don't even really think about it, and you just move money over it and move on. Now, you obviously try to see where you went, you messed up, or how you can fix it in the future to make sure that you don't kind of run into that issue. But the whole point is that don't get down on yourself. Don't worry about it. Fix it and move on, because if you just dwell on it too much, then you are going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to leave it there, and then the next thing you know, you're not tracking your spending. You're not building wealth. You're climbing into more debt. And for what? For something that you just overspent and you went to Dairy Queen one too many times. Come on, all right? So definitely, roll with the punches. It's going to happen, but just, get up each day, start today, and start over again. So rule number 4, age your money. Okay, what does that mean? Well, the whole philosophy around the YNAB system is to break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. Well, what does that mean? That means that you want to get to the point that when you are paying for something this month, you are actually using last month's money. So so much to the point that, if you're paying rent or your mortgage or you're paying for groceries, you have enough of basically in your budget, because pretty much when you start doing the system, you find there's a lot of money that kind of just goes missing, that you're able to go to the point, and it takes time, so don't rush this and don't think that it's got to be right away, 1 month and then the next, but you will see it in YNAB. It will kind of calculate your age of money to the point that you'll be able to increase it, and the point is to get basically when you hit about 30 days, that's kind of showing you that all this money that you're now using is to the point that you're using, previous month's money to pay for this. And it gets to the point where you don't worry so much about, paycheck to paycheck, or I need to make sure to stretch until that Friday to get paid, because you already know that there's just money in the bank account. Now, I will say I have experienced one negative of this, and that's pretty much aging your money too much, right? To the point that, hey, maybe you have too much money in your checking account, and at this point you should be putting your money into something more, investing it in something more, either putting more into savings, like a high yield savings, or just investing it in the stock market. There's a lot of good things there, and there's more videos on this channel that talks about that. But definitely that's my only caveat, is you can get to the point where, hey, if you're doing so much, you may think, hey, I'm gonna keep going, and hey, it's great, you're gonna feel secure, but you're probably leaving a little bit of money on the table if you start getting into the 40s, 50s, 60s of aging your money. And like I said, not a bad problem to have, but something that you definitely want to address and think about for sure. Okay, so I want to take you inside of the software itself just a little bit here, because we'll have a lot more videos on this channel that kind of go into more detail about different functions and my thoughts on certain things. But just to give you a brief overview here, you kind of see here, and this is just kind of a test budget here that I put in here, and pretty much you can add accounts right here, right? And you can add as many as you want, from checking accounts, savings accounts, to just tracking accounts. You can put pretty much your whole assets and track your whole net worth within YNAB, which is a great feature they have. And pretty much anytime you put anything in here that's going to be considered a budget account, you select what you consider a budget account, it puts it right up here, right? And that's what we said, and I said earlier, hey, this basically should always be 0. So today, I just put 10K or something in there, but whatever it is, you're going to put right now, you're going to log in and you're going to put, hey, I have $500 sitting in my account. And then what you do, and this is kind of, YNAB does a good job at just pre-populating some really good kind of starting place for your categories here. And so what you can see here, they have, immediate obligations, some true expenses, right? That's what we talked about. These are ones normally that you'll either be saving up for because they're like semi-annually, annually, or there's something like medical or clothing that don't necessarily happen, on the 15th and the 30th of each month or the 1st of each month or whatever, but they're going to happen. You're going to go to the doctor, you're going to need to pay for the doctor, you're going to need clothes. You don't actually know when you're going to need clothes necessarily, so kind of having some money in there at all times definitely helps. We talked about here stuff I forgot to budget for. Hey, perfect right there. And then they can talk about debt payments. If you're paying back loans, you can add those in here. And then obviously we talked about here as well, if you have quality of life goals, and then obviously just for fun as well right there. So basically, literally all you do, it's so simple. You say, hey, okay, I know that I need to put $500 towards rent. Boom, I now have $500 less here, and now I have $500 available. And then let's say, hey, it comes up in the next, and you say 500 more, you just say, hey, I'm adding, plus another $500 at the next time. Boom, I'm up to 1,000. Then you go over here and you say, hey, today, paying it to the landlord. I don't know what I'm saying there. So, and then you say, hey, boom, this is my rent. It is for, January rent. And you go, how much? Oh, it's $1,000. And you go save, just like that. And now look, if you go back out here to your budget, boom, $1,000 here, $1,000 happened, and you can even kind of click on it, and it'll show you what it was. And then boom, how much available? 0. That's how simple it is. And then there's a lot more to this. And like I said, they have reports that you can look at. You can see how much your spending is for different things. You can look at trends over time to see, what you spent. Like we was talking about net worth, when you start adding other accounts, it'll show you how much, your net worth, and you can see how much it's changed from month to month. Your income, how much you're bringing in, and obviously your expenses. So you can see, hey, am I spending, more than I make, or am I, spending less than I make, which is definitely where you want to be. And so these are some of the great features, like I said, they talked about. And then you can edit these categories to be whatever you want. And they show you so many different stats, so many different ways to look at these, and so many, add notes. You can create a goal, and we'll do videos all about kind of going more details into these. But, you can create a goal for that. Say, hey, I'm gonna save it monthly, weekly by a certain date. We talked about Christmas. I have a Christmas, and I say, hey, boom, Christmas is over. And then the wife and I would talk, and I say, hey, we need to start saving for Christmas. It's January 1st. What did we decide? Did we spend too much last Christmas? Not enough? Do we want to change it? Hey, we know it's going to be this amount. Let's start saving today, this paycheck, whatever that may be, $50, $100, $200. It's up to you. It's a great thing about YNAB. It gives you freedom. That's what a budget does. It doesn't restrict you. It gives you freedom. Remember that. So that's kind of YNAB in a nutshell. And like I said, there's a lot more videos coming, or they're already out by the time you're seeing this, that kind of talk about, each individual little thing about this. And we'll talk about the rules even more in detail and what they mean. And we'll talk about the software itself. Pretty much this will be a whole series that we'll be doing on this channel. So definitely, once again, if you're looking forward to that, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button as well. And if you're looking to get started today, which is definitely the mantra what this channel is start today. I do have a link down below, and when you click that link and you get a free 34-day trial with YNAB, where it's no questions asked, where they give you to it for 34 days, and it's and it's free trial, and it costs you nothing to click on my link or do anything. I get a free month of YNAB that I use if you decide to go through and buy the program. But regardless if you do it or not, just give it a try. You won't regret it. So let me know down in the comments below if you already have YNAB, what you think about it, how do you feel about it. If you don't have YNAB and you're getting it today, hey, let me know. Hey, I started today, Nate, and let's do this together. So hey, if you're looking about investing, I did do a video recently all about how to start investing with Vanguard, using the Vanguard program, Vanguard website and stuff. So you can go click on the video right over here, and we'll kind of take you through that and kind of talk to you all about how you pick your first index fund with them, which is what I recommend most of the time to new investors. So go click on that video, and I'll see you over in that video.